Morning YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be tackling one of the biggest pain points faced by beginners. That is low speed turns and U-turning their motorcycle. So today I have with me Juwana, who's a relatively new rider. She will be working with me on putting this video together for you. Let's go. So let's get right into it. First thing, there's 4 key things you need to pay attention to when you're making your turn. Number 1, your clutch needs to be in the friction zone. Number 2, you need to control your throttle. Number 3, use the rear brake, tap very lightly, exactly like I'm doing now, to control the speed of your turn. And number 4 is to look in the direction that you are turning. So when you're in the U-turn, you turn your handlebar, clutch remains in the friction zone, you lightly control the throttle, and you use your brakes to control the turn. Now, if you're a new rider, most new riders feel the urge while they're making the turn to put their left foot down or the right foot down if they're turning right. There is no need to do any of that. That could actually be quite dangerous. If you put your foot down, it could ruin your turn entirely. However, all you need to do again is control the speed of the bike. Just give a little bit of gas. It will keep the bike upright while you're making the turn. One key rule, you never ever use the front brakes while your handlebar is turned. If you think about it, if your handlebar is turned, you're pressing the front brakes, therefore naturally, laws of physics, the bike will tip over this way. To practice your U-turns, here is a very simple drill that you can practice in an empty parking lot. You basically put an object and then turn around the object whilst maintaining your eyes on the object the whole time, whilst in the friction zone, controlling the throttle and using your rear brakes for the turn. Now, as you can see, Juwana's a new rider. Her turns are quite wide. So I'm going to show you next how to tighten your turns. Now, for a tighter turn, you're going to need to lean the bike more so that you can make a tighter turn. So what you need to do is here, exactly the same. Clutch in the friction zone, control the throttle, use the rear brakes. And as you lean the bike, you're going to need to shift your weight in the opposite direction to counterbalance the lean. The more lean, the more you need to push your weight out so you can counterbalance. Let me show you an example. So first, I'm going to do a regular turn, the same drill that I showed you earlier. So this is a regular turn. Keep your eyes on the object the whole time you're spinning around. Okay, now if I want to tighten the turn, I'm going to need to lean in more, counterbalance. See, there you go, tighter turns. Still looking. Keep doing this, keep practicing this drill to tighten your turns. Control the throttle, keep your clutch in the friction zone, and use the brakes, lightly tap in order to control the turn. Okay, so after discussing the counterbalance concept, Juwana is going to try and give this a shot now. Let's see how she does. Okay, turns are still a bit wide. She's a bit worried. That's okay. This needs a lot of time and practice and focus to be able to master. But overall, better. One other thing you guys need to do is to be able to master a right-hand turn as well. Of course, this is a bit more difficult, and I'll show you why. It's because when you turn the handlebar to the right, your elbow and your arm and your hand on the throttle is in an awkward position, so it's not as easy to control as a left-hand turn. However, you need to practice this as well. Juwana, would you like to give us a demo? There goes Juwana, same exact thing. Clutch in the friction zone, control the throttle, nice and easy, right-hand turns, keeping your eyes on the object. This is a really good drill to master your turns and not feel the need to put your leg down or your foot down. Good job. One last thing, how do I make a U-turn from a dead stop? Now you can only try this or practice this once you have mastered everything else. Clutch in the friction zone, control on the throttle, tap on the brakes, your eyes and your head. And only then you can try and attempt to practice this. Okay? So here's how it's done. You turn the bike on, of course you're in gear. Turn the handlebar. I'm gonna look as far back as I can into where I'm going, and then tap on the brakes, friction zone, little throttle control, and then just flow into the U-turn, just like this. So that's it. I hope this video was helpful and you'll practice the drills to be able to master your U-turns and your low-speed turns. If you found this useful, please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'd like to thank Juwana for participating. Check out her YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it in the description below. See you guys later. Thanks, Juwana.